So while she's working on getting that attendance link, we're going to go ahead and get started. So you guys are doing Canvas modules today. And for those of you that do not know me, I am Becky O'Donnell, and I am the Digital Integration Specialist for Vero Beach High School, Flick, VBE, Oslo, and Alt Ed. And Carrie Wall and Michelle Adrian will be here today. They are helping moderate in the chat. So any questions that you guys have as we are going through this today, go ahead, put them in the chat, and we will go ahead and get those answered for you. But a lot of you look like you're ready. You've got your cameras and you've got it muted. So not that we don't want to hear or see you, but as more people join on a Teams meeting, the better it is to have that off so that everybody is able to have a nice learning, enjoyable experience. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen with you all so we can see what we're going to learn today. So right now I'm going to be working out of the Canvas course and digital teacher resources, and you can access that. You don't need to right now, so you're good with what you are doing right now is just hanging out in Teams. But when you do need to access that, it is on your class link. So where it says digital teacher resources. And once you go there, we're working right here on this first link that it says back to school. I do want to show you while I am on this page that Michelle has added all of the training videos that we have done. Usually takes her about 24 hours to get a turnaround from the previous day's trainings, but we have all the videos we've done from spring, Techie Tuesday over the summer, and then the ones that we've done so far here. So these videos are awesome just to kind of go back and refer, and especially if you are maybe feeling a little overwhelmed or feeling lost, I love having these videos because you could watch them and do it step by step at your own pace when you get a chance. So those are there for you all in the digital teacher resources. And I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing today. All right, so here I'm working in Canvas modules. All right, and you have, again, you have access to this page, so everything you'll be able to see after today, or you have it today, but you'll have it anytime that you need. On here, this is the presentation that I'm going to go through in just a few moments with you, so you'll have access to that. The agenda for today with some helpful links of being able to do some of these things that we're showing you step by step. I did add in here some helpful links for you so that you have access to those as well. A lot of the links that are in here will be similar to the ones that you see in the agenda. And I found two awesome videos for you on working with these modules. So you have the video training that we're doing today, but you also have these two YouTube videos. And these, if you did any Canvas and coffee over the summer with us, these people are amazing, and they put out a lot of helpful videos to teachers as they were going through all this transition to remote learning. So you have access to all of this at any time that you need. And then I do want to show you here. I'm going to be going through and showing you step by step. So today's going to be make and take on how to create a module, but I did add one on here for you, and it shows to you on here this back to school, each piece that we're going to be talking about. Sorry, I had to mute that. I'll be showing you each of these. We'll be practicing how to do that today, but I put one in there just in case you needed it on your own. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Any questions so far, Carrie? Are we good?
No, we're good.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so Canvas all about modules. And modules do seem a little scary at first just because there's so much to Canvas, and then you're seeing all these pieces. If you were part of yesterday's training, the rich content editor, like you've got quizzes, you've got assignments, you've got pages, and then you have modules, and it's like, well, where do I start? And I think modules, once you have this training today, plus what you've done with the rich content editor, should help those puzzle pieces come together and see why they work and mesh so well together. So our goal today is going to learn how these modules are an awesome organizational feature where various types of content throughout your course can be linked and made available for students. So what are modules? We're going to go through it step by step, but they allow instructors to organize content to help control the flow of the course. Modules are used to organize course content by weeks, units, or a different organizational structure. And the ones that we're going to show you today are through the template. So Carrie's done an amazing job at already creating the template for you. So the modules are created. So we'll be able to practice and see how those modules actually work today. And then there's files, discussions, assignments, quizzes. So anywhere that you see that rich content editor, those pieces are put within a module. So let's dive a little bit deeper so you can see why you would want to organize using modules, right? So why use them? Here's why. So I want you to think of a toolbox, right? Why use them? Think about the tools in the Canvas course menu that you see here. All of this stuff, right? They're purposeful, but not organized in the same way that your course flow is organized, right? So for comparison, we can think of quizzes as a collection of hammers. There's nothing on the quizzes page except for hammers. They are all different, but they are all hammers. Out of context, they are really only serve one purpose, which is hammering, right? So in a module, you're not limited to just one tool though, like the hammer that you see here. You can put all the tools in the context in which they will be used. For example, we are going to build a bookshelf. So our objective is to build a bookshelf, and here are the directions on how we do that. So the tools we'll need to build this bookshelf, or for our semester course, would be in here. Right? We're not just going to use one tool. We're going to use many different tools. So modules work just like this. Instead of making students go back and forth to the hammer drawer or quizzes, or search in another drawer for instructions or files, or dig through the screwdriver drawer assignments, we give them the tools they need to accomplish today's task all in one place. Since the end goal is not to learn where things are, but to build the bookshelf, we eliminate the frustration of not finding the tools and help students accomplish the task. Modules keep all of the appropriate tools in one place. You could keep the other tools out of the way to eliminate visual noise. So basically, it's keeping things organized in one spot so they're not scattered all over the place. And I've got another good analogy for you here that will help that make sense a little bit more too. So you want to think of modules like a binder, right? Think about when everything went, not everything, but before we went digital, you may have had file folders in a cabinet, and you would have them separated maybe by unit of study or different standards that you were covering, right? You wouldn't just have them all thrown into one. Maybe you did, but I liked all my stuff was super duper organized. So when I was teaching a certain topic, I just grabbed that folder and I was able to see the content that I could use. So it's showing to you, would you rather have everything like this stack of papers here, or would you rather have utilized easily for your students to see? So thinking of a digital binder like you see here, it's showing you how it can be grouped into those particular sections. So all the content that you have doesn't change. It's just organized in a nice, clean, and neat format. So that's why we're showing you how to use these modules today, especially if you're choosing to do a transitional teaching where you're online. You want to make sure everything is organized. And what's awesome is once it's organized and clean and ready, it's there for you to have from year to year. So you just have to, modify things as you go along. We doing good so far, Carrie?
So far, so good.
Awesome. Thanks, girl. All right, so some examples of how modules could look. I have both of these here that Carrie has created for us. And the elementary template, you'll see that you have an awesome home page here, and parents and students are able to click to different areas that they need to access, right? So if they need contact information, they're able to click on that, and it takes them to a page that has contact information. But what's really cool about having a module is that you can see on here, we have this all, your parent contact info, things are all organized in here. So in this section of Welcome to Your Virtual Classroom, you have each of these pages that link to those certain areas in your course. So it's nice because this is all in one clean area for you, and then you're able to pull the pieces that you want from that area. So we're going to be working on today how to add each of these pieces on there. But you'll see all of these modules that she has created are the sections that students would need to work in. And we'll talk about today, but if it's showing green, that means that it's published and students are able to see it. So the beauty of it is, as you could see up here, all of this explains how to use the template, how to use Canvas, and so forth. But what's great is this is for you. Students and families don't need to see this, and that's why it shows on here, don't publish. But you have all of that information on there for you. So what's great is if maybe you are going through and doing some research on a topic that you're going to teach, and you find some really great websites and things like that that you want to have and cover on this topic, instead of having to maybe favorite them at the top, you can put them within your module and have everything you want with that topic. And then when you're ready to share it with students, you just have to click publish and it's ready for them. So it's just a nice way to have things organized. The other template that we're going to talk about today, and that one is the secondary template. And on this template, similar format to what you just saw before, where you can click and these will take you to these particular sections. But the module is over on this side here. And then you can see the similar thing that you just saw on the other template. But now you have things laid out a little bit differently. So it seems like there's a lot of information here, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Again, it'll make sense once we start practicing, but I just wanted to show you a brief overview of how modules can work. They could go by unit, they could go by section, but for the transitional teaching, we have it listed by weeks for you so that it's all nice and organized for yourself and your students. So those are just a couple examples for you. Back on the presentation. There we go. All right, so how are we going to learn this new material and all this good stuff today, right? One, you should have a sandbox course created. If you don't, I'm going to walk you through that real fast. And then I'm going to show you on my screen what to do, and then I'm going to give you a few minutes to practice on your screen. So it'll be a make and take today. So you'll be navigating between teams and between your Canvas sandbox course. Now, those of you that have already created a sandbox course this week, you can work in that same sandbox course. Sandbox course is just a nice, think about as a kid when you played in a sandbox. That's what the purpose of a sandbox course is, just to play. So that, any mistakes you make or anything that you want to add or change, it's your playground so that we can end up importing that into the course for your students, but at least this is your place to play. So you can learn with what you're doing. So to create a sandbox course, if you have not done that already, and those of you that have your sandbox course already created, you can go ahead and open that for me now and then wait for the next direction. Those of you that need a sandbox course, you're going to open up your Canvas. So I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and do that. So if you have a sandbox course created, you're going to Canvas and opening that up. If you don't have one created, I'm going to show you right now. So everybody's steps right now are go to Canvas. There we go. And then open up sandbox course. There we go. All right, so once you are in Canvas to create the sandbox course, over on the right-hand side, and you can see you might have to scroll down, I'm on my dashboard, and over to the right, I'm clicking where it says Start New Course. I'm going to screenshot that so you have it. When you click on Start New Course, you can give it a course name. If you want to just give it a course name of, maybe back to school sandbox, it's up to you. Something that you'll remember what that name is. You don't have to worry about that too much because, again, no students are being assigned to this course. This is just your course for you to play. And then private is fine. Public just means like anybody would be able to see it, but you don't need it to be shown public, so private is okay. So once you get to this point here, all you have to do is click Create Course. So go ahead and do that for me now if you have not done so already. And I'll go ahead and put in the chat for you guys where to start a course. There we go, if it will let me. Awesome. All right. Once you have your course created, you're going to import from Commons. And I want to import from Commons because the template that Carrie has shared with us is right on Commons, and I love it. Look at this. It's like front and ready for you as soon as you sign in. So I just went from inside my course on the right-hand side, I went to where it says import from Commons. And then you can choose which template you want to play around with today. It's up to you which one you feel like. You would just click on the one that you would like. And then we can click over here where it says import download. So I clicked on the course I wanted, I clicked import download, and then I have a lot of stuff here. But the course, whatever you named it, like I named mine Back to School Sandbox, you want to click on that. And then you're probably gonna have to scroll down, click import into course, and give it a few moments for it to go through because it does have a lot of information. It might take a couple minutes for that course to show up. So I want to go ahead and give you guys, I'm just going to put let's do a minute timer on there real fast. And if you're needing help on how to do that, please put it in the chat. Carrie can go ahead and help you with how to do that. So we are opening up Sandbox course, opening up or starting. So once you went import from Commons, and you do need to click import/download, excuse me, in order for it to show. That's where I clicked right here. Okay. Oops, we're green, we're good. Okie doke. So now you can hop on back to the meeting by clicking back on Teams. All right, so the next piece, what we're going to do is dive in and step by step create how a module would look. So we're going to talk about each piece that's on there. The first part that we want to talk about is, well, how to add a module, right? So to add a module, what we're going to do is we're going to click on modules from our course homepage side here, and then, or course navigation, I should call it, sorry. We're going to end up clicking plus module. So anytime you see that plus sign within Canvas, it means to add. We're going to give our module a name, and I'm just showing you briefly. I'm going to walk you through this in just a moment. If we want it locked, or we don't have to really mess around with that too much right now because we are just doing this as our playground. We're not going to add any prereqs to ours, but then we're just going to end up clicking module. So here's how we are going to do that. Right now, when we go back to our dashboard, we're going to click on our Sandbox course. Okay, and you can see there's my sandbox course that I just added on there, but I already have one that I'm going to use today right here. And to add a module, once you are in your course, on your course navigation, so first step will be to click on module. Then we're going to click on plus module. And if this is your course, if you just downloaded it, you'll see this right at the top too. That's okay. We're going to click plus module. We're going to give our module a name. I'm going to call this BTS for back to school training that we're doing, module practice. You can call it whatever you would like to, but module practice is just fine. Again, we're not going to lock it because students aren't accessing any of this right now. And then add prerequisite, we don't need them to, we're not differentiating anything right now, so we can just leave that as it is. So we just went to module, plus module, then I'm going to click on add module. And then it doesn't look like it added, but we have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and you should see that module there. So I'm going to go ahead, put those directions up here for you. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and do that. So right now from course navigation, you are clicking on module. Oops, module. Then you are clicking on plus module. And then you can name your module. And then it was save module. And again, any questions you have about that, go ahead and put them in the chat so that we can answer them for you. So right now I'm showing you just like how you're doing it. I created a sandbox course for myself as well, but I imported the template. And we're going to talk about, once we learn through these different module pieces, we'll talk about the template today, how that's laid out. Okay.
Hey, Becky, I just asked for a temperature check in the chat. Let's get a thumbs up for everyone if they're good.
Okay. I'm going to pause that so you don't have to hear that. So if you guys will go ahead, let us know that you're okay by either saying okay in the chat or a thumbs up, and let us know that you're ready to move on. So if you, up on the top here, those of you, if you're joining us late, we're working in a sandbox course. So if you have participated in any of our trainings this week, you should have one already created and you can work right out of that course. If you don't have that, I'll actually I can search for that real fast for you guys. Canvas, add a course. And you can create a sandbox course to play around. See, this is what I was saying. Canvas is so awesome. I love this. Oh, that's as an admin. So hold on. We are not admins, so we're going to click on that one. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and put this in the chat for you in case you came late and need those directions on how to start a new course. It's pretty simple. If you are struggling with getting the template in there right now, don't worry about that at this moment. As long as you just get the course started, then we can go ahead and help you with the template down the road if you need, okay?
So we're
good to go. Oh, go ahead.
It looks like we're good. Looks like everybody's on page.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so we just completed step 1. You just added your module. Woohoo! Now I'm going to talk about a few pieces before we start adding pieces to that model. An important piece is being able to edit or change that module. So to do that, it's very simple. You click on your little skinny gray snowman here, and we're going to end up clicking edit. And that can be done anytime that you are in your course. So over to the right, I can click on my little skinny snowman, and I do have some options here that I can do. I can click edit, and I'm able to change the information. So maybe I want to change the name of this module. I'm just going to put training so you can see that I've changed it, update module, and it will automatically update for me. So that's a nice feature available to you. Another feature is publish a module, and this one is super duper huge because a lot of times teachers will create different pieces within their course but forget to publish the module or the beginning piece. And when you're publishing anything, it's going to show a green check mark. When we see this piece right here where it's gray and slashed out, that means it's not published, therefore my students cannot see it. Right now, that doesn't matter too much because we're in a sandbox, right? We're just playing. But if I want my students to see this, I have to click publish. Anything within my module that's not green, my students are not going to be able to see. For example, if I've created all of this stuff here for my students to do, but I have that unchecked, they cannot see this information. I've got to make sure to click publish on that module first. So a lot of the times if you're getting feedback from students that they're not able to see something in your course, that's the main reason of what happens there. So we've all been there. Another important, actually I want you guys to go ahead and practice that for me real quick. So I want you to go back to your course, go back in your module, and I want you to practice publishing, publish/unpublished. And I want you to see how that looks and feels on publish. I'm just going to give you guys about 30 seconds for that one. That one shouldn't take too long for us to practice. Oh, there we go. And if you can go ahead and let us know you're ready. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. I'm sorry, guys. To move on by a thumbs up or a GIF or something that lets us know that we are okay to move on. All right.
These guys are on it. Hey, Becky.
Awesome. Yay. What'd you say? You said they're good?
Yeah, I said they're on it today.
Woohoo. Yay. And I know this little screen that we use is pretty primary, but I love it. I feel like it helps us stay focused, especially having the time for you guys of what to practice and directions on there. So I love using this tool here. So back on here, we just added a module. We edited it. We published it. Now we're going to practice, well, we're not going to practice deleting, but I'm going to show you how you can delete a module that you have created. So it's actually fairly simple. Going back to that little skinny snowman, we can click on those 3 dots. Instead of edit this time, you could just click on delete. And we're going to talk about these few parts in just a few moments. So that's pretty awesome to have. And if you worked on a module, let's say you didn't like what you worked on or what have you, you're done with that topic or whatever it is, you could just click delete and it does delete it for you. So again, we're not going to practice that just because I don't want you to delete the work you just did. So now we're getting to the good stuff. Adding course content as a module item. So we're going to talk about this and then we're going to go through and add each piece to see what it feels and looks like within your module. So adding course content, our screen looks like this right here. It says that we can either add or we can drag and drop files or things to our module, right? Thinking module, you're thinking of your big binder. So now we're filling that binder with information. How we do that, we're going to click on where it says add, and we're going to practice adding each of these examples that you see. And then after we add new items, we'll end up clicking add new item. They're just showing you each of the different parts that we can add. So we're going to practice that now. The first one I want us to practice is adding in an assignment, okay? Now, assignments, and as you can see on here, it does show to you that these automatically show up in the grades area and the calendar and syllabus features within your course. So to add an assignment, what we're going to do is click on assignments. This is showing you one way. We're going to actually do ours a little bit differently than they show. You can add them really both ways. But the way that I want to show you guys, which is the easier, well, they're both easy, but just so it stays organized for you, we're going to click on our plus sign, and then this little drop down arrow shows you all the pieces we can add to this module. We're just going to leave it on assignment. Now, once you're on this page, you're going to notice that you have some assignments that are already created for you, and you can use those assignments if you'd like. I want us to practice making a new assignment, so we're just going to click on new assignment. And you can see when I clicked on that, it highlighted it blue for me. Now, and what's cool here too is you can see this assignment, and it even shows you which module I'm adding that to. So I'm adding it to my practice. My assignment name is going to be Back to School Module Assignment Practice. Again, you can name it whatever you would like. And then you do have an option to indent. I'm not going to indent right now, but I'll show you how that indentation looks in just a moment. But it's just like indenting with a paragraph. So once I clicked plus sign, I click assignment here. I click new assignment. I've named it. All I have to do is click add item, and I've just added the first item to my module. And you can see here, it's right underneath it. It automatically puts it there, but I am able to move it if I need. We're going to practice that shortly. And this little symbol that you see with a little paper and a pen, that means that this is an assignment. And as we start adding more, you'll see that they all start to, if I can find some other ones that look a little bit different, you'll see that they have different symbols for what kind of content it is that you added. So I want everybody right now, go to your Canvas. I want you to click on the plus sign, and I want you to practice adding in an assignment. Let's see if we can do that in 2.5 minutes. So right now you are going back to your Canvas course. You are clicking on the gray plus sign next to module. And adding an assignment. And then let us know if you have any questions about that in the chat. And then if you want to let us know that you're ready by just giving us a thumbs up or saying okay in that chat, that would be helpful. Okay. You think we're good to go ahead, Carrie?
Yeah, everybody looks good.
Okay. I don't want to rush you guys if you feel like you need more time, but I also want to make sure we have enough time to cover everything today. And that this same flow of what we're doing will be the same for each piece that we actually end up adding in. So that'll be cool. So the next piece we're going to practice adding in is, I didn't put it on here, sorry guys, it is adding a quiz. So when you add a quiz, you're following the same steps again, going to the plus sign, and then now on that drop down bar, we're going to click where it says quiz. And it will show any previous quizzes you've put, so you can use them from year to year if you'd like, or you can click on new quiz, which is what we're going to do today. And when you click on new quiz, you can name your quiz, what you would like to name it. It allows you to put it in a group. I'm just going to leave it in assignments. But for this one, let's go ahead and practice indenting so you can see what that indentation looks like. You could choose whichever one of these you'd like. So right now, once you click on that plus sign, we're going to go to quiz, new quiz, name your quiz, practice indenting, and then always make sure you do click add. If we don't click add, then it doesn't add it for us there. And you'll see that quiz now looks different than the assignment, right? It has a little rocket ship, and that lets me know that it is a quiz. And you can notice also here we indented, so it did put that space in there for us. So go ahead, and I want you to take a couple minutes there, and I want you to practice adding in a quiz. And I'll show you in just a moment to edit any of these. We could just click on the link and we're able to edit it. But right now we're practicing just putting those pieces into our module. And let me put those directions up there for you. Practice adding. And if you want to give us a thumbs up or an okay in the chat or a GIF, you can. Let's see. Practice adding in a quiz. Okay. So at this point, you should start making your way back to the screen. You should have added your quiz on there. And I'm actually going to put on there, if you want to, you are more than welcome to take a screenshot and share your screen with us so we can see the work that you've done. And we can do that by pressing Windows plus Shift plus S and then pasting it into the chat. I cannot spell today, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Awesome. So go ahead and make your way back to the presentation here. So right now we've added an assignment, we've added a quiz. We're going to practice adding in a file, okay? So adding in a file, and just noticing on here, it's showing you that these files do go in. They're not they are alphabetized, so you can't kind of put them in which order that you want. When you create them in the module, you can, but how they're organized within here, they're showing to you. So what we're going to do to add a file is we're going to go ahead and click on the plus sign. So again, you could see these same steps all the time just to click on that plus sign, right? And then now on the drop down arrow, I want you to practice adding in a file. So we're going to click on file. And it is showing to me I've got a lot of files in here, so I can add a file that I've already saved. But again, we want to practice, new. And once you click on new, it does give you the option to choose the file you want. So just like you would add this file into an email or so forth, you have to click choose files. And then you can choose a file to add. I'm going to choose the one I just did as a practice. Here we go. So it could be any file. So if you, as you see here, these are your options. You could do PowerPoint. You can do a PDF. You could do a Word document, picture, whatever file you would like. Go ahead and click on it and then click open. And you'll see that file right here for you. And it does allow you to choose where you want that file to be stored. Course files is fine. And you have the options to indent. This time I'm going to try to indent 3 levels so I can see the difference there. So these directions are plus sign, file, new file, choose a file, and then we click add item, and then you'll see that file on there. I'm going to uncheck it because I don't want that published. Okay. So you can see that on here. Now, I've indented this one even further so you can see how it did push it a few tabs over on there. And this little paper clip is showing to me that is a file. So go ahead and you could see also too, it does name, the file that's named is showing right here for my students. So go ahead, practice that for me. Oh, we don't need 4 minutes. Sorry, guys. Oh, there we go. We'll try that. So practice adding in a file. And you can see there, if, let's say as you're adding it in, you don't like the file name, you don't have to have students see this part. We can eventually take this file and move it into a page or somewhere else for students. Again, this is your binder. So this is just your pieces of information within that topic that we have here that we're covering. So it's just, if you are, you know, finding different documents or like I said, links to websites, pictures, and things like that that you want students to have, that's what we're practicing here. Okay, and then go ahead, let us know when you're ready. To move on. Okay. And keeping in mind as we're still working, anytime we need to change any of this stuff, again, you have that little skinny gray snowman over here. So when we click on him, we're able to make any changes to what we've done within each of these pieces here. So maybe if I didn't want to do that indentation, I can click on that little snowman, I can click back here, and it will put it back to where I want it. So you have those options at any time if you need within your module, okay? The next area of a module that we can add would be a page. And on a page, again, you can go through the navigation on the left, but we're going to add it right within our module. So to do that, we click on the plus sign, just like we've been doing. And now we click back at the top. Instead of file, we're going to select a page. And to select a page, same thing. We're going to click on new page, or you can add a previously created page on there. And that's what's nice too. Let's say if you do something from this navigational bar on the left, that page, whatever you have, will show up in here, right? So, and to keep that in mind too, as you're deleting modules, though the information that you create within it, the module will still show up. It just won't be part of that module anymore. And then page name, I'm just going to put back to school. This is module practice. So you're going to go ahead and name it. And then you can practice indenting too if you'd like. And then you click add item. And now that page is on there, and I know it's a page because it has a little piece of paper here that shows me this is a page. So that's the type of content I have added. So those icons are very nice to differentiate between the different items that you have within your module. Go ahead and practice that for me. Adding in a page. Whoop. And let us know when you're ready. And again, any questions that you have, what we're covering, just let us know. We'll be able to help. Oops. Okay. How are we doing so far, Carrie? Any questions that we need to show and share? Or you think we're good?
Sorry, I couldn't get my toolbar up. Looking good.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pause it and let us go ahead and see the next part here. As you can see, it's very intuitive at this point that each part that you're covering, it's following the same motions. The next piece we want to talk about adding is right underneath page is discussion. And the discussion tool that you can see here, you can add topics that have already been created. So let's say if you are using this, the template that Carrie has created here, you can actually use these and you can edit within this area if that's the one that you want to use for your students. So that's pretty cool. But I want us to practice adding in a new one. So I'm going to click new topic, and then I'm going to put in the topic name. What I've been doing here, this is modules, what is this? Discussion practice. There we go. And then same thing after you name it, you can choose to indent. Maybe I don't want to indent on this one, and I click add item. And now these two little boxes, looks like little two text boxes here, talking or text message, that shows to me this is a discussion post. So go ahead and take some time to do that for me. I want you to practice adding in a discussion. And then let us know when you're ready. So hopefully you're finding it pretty simple so far. Adding within your module is pretty intuitive once you get the hang of it. And Carrie, as I'm going through too, if you feel that there's anything that you want to add to what I'm saying, go ahead and add it to that if you feel that will help.
Will do, but you're doing pretty awesome.
Cool beans. All right. So our next piece, I'm just going to let that do its thing. There it goes. Okay. We've added in the basic course content areas, and all the areas that you just added in on your module. You can see all of these are where you're going to get that rich content editor box. So that's going to be that white box where you can add in your text and all of that good stuff, right? So that is there. some other parts to the module that are a little bit different are some of these other tools that we have here. Now, text header tool, you can add, and basically all a text header tool is just a way to put some text into your module. And it is just text, so it doesn't link or it doesn't go to anywhere. But if you have different areas within your module that you're wanting to, have some words there to help with students, you can put that text header tool in there. And I believe we have, as you could see, Carrie put one in here under the teacher resources. This is her module. And I know this is the outside binder, right? Because it's gray. All of these are pieces within her module. And then right here, this is just a text header. So as you can see, I can't click on it. It just is a place to hold text, and it's showing what's underneath that text here. So kind of almost like a chapter in a book. To add one of these, what we do is we click on the plus sign, and then we click back on our drop-down arrow, and we click text header. And then you can name the subtitle that you would like. So I'm just going to put back to school. This is module text header. There we go. And you can indent it if you'd like. I probably don't want to indent it so that it shows right up front, side, and on the left for my students, but I click add. And to let you know that it's a text header, you can see it's a little bit bigger here too, the font compared to the others, and it doesn't have an icon where the other parts, these are course content areas, right? These are pieces that link to that rich content editor. This is just a plain old piece of text. So go ahead and practice that for me, and if you want to screenshot and share, you can do that. Let's try a minute and a half, but if that feels too rushed, let us know. So we're practicing adding in a text header. Okay, so if you want to screenshot and share, you can. Just let us know a thumbs up or say okay. And let us know that you're ready to move on. So I just want to put on there too for you, each of these links that I have in the presentation, we're showing you how to add from a module, but each of these links that I'm clicking on that you have access to in the presentation show you how you can go through and edit and how each of these actually looks with that rich content editor box. So if we have time today, we may practice some of this together, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time practicing in this part right here, right now, just because we did go over that yesterday. So this is a whole training that we did yesterday on how to add and change pieces within this box. But all those links are available for you, and I love the way Canvas has done all of these links because they explain it with pictures and words, and I feel like it really does help step by step on what to do there. Okay. The next piece we're going to talk about is we did text header. We're going to do an external tool, and these are links that are outside of the course. So when you want to add in an external tool, again, you go to your plus sign. I'm going to go to external URL, meaning that it's going to be some kind of a website. So I can link, let's say I want to link this website here for you guys. So you would just find the website that you want. You can copy that website by pressing Control-C or right-clicking copy. And then you can go to the URL in this piece right here, and you can paste by pressing Control V, which is right next to C, or you can right click and say paste. So this is the page that's going to open up for the students. Now, page name is the text that it will show for students, so they don't see this whole long web page address. So I'm going to name it. This is modules. This is URL practice, okay? And then again, you can indent or not indent. So I'm going to practice that here. And this is really super awesome. This allows it to load in a new page. So that choice is up to you. If we don't check mark this, when a student opens up this page, it's just going to show right within their Canvas course here. So they would have to click back to go to Canvas. Or if I load it in a new tab, it will open up into a separate tab for my students. And then they would just have to click back to Canvas. So go ahead and practice that one there. And you'll notice it is a link. This symbol that you see here shows to me that is a website link to for my students. So I'm going to give you some time. Let's try. Let me know if that's too much time, but I think you guys should be okay. So we are practice adding in a URL. So it could be any website that you'd like to have them access. So once you're finished, go ahead, start making your way back to Canvas for us, or back to Canvas, sorry, back to Teams. There we go. I'll pause it there. All right, so we've talked about text header. We've talked about external tool. The next one I want to show you how to add in would be, oh, sorry, external URL. I did those backwards, I'm sorry. External tool. So this one here that you're going to see is, it's thinking external, right? You're using an outside source. We just use an outside website. External tool would be an outside tool. Now we have some tools that are already listed for you here. And some of them like we won't necessarily need, but if you needed like Office 365, Notebook, things like that. But I want you to go ahead and practice choosing one here. Where did Flipgrid was on here? Where did it go? Did I, because I already added it as a tool on the other one, I think. I guess so. Okay. You should have Flipgrid on yours. I think because I already added it and as a practice, it's not showing. That's a great tool to use with students. But I'm just going to do, let's do Khan Academy. All right. Oh, that's right, because that wasn't working the other day for us still. That's okay. Let's try Discovery Ed. Oh, okay.
Becky, Studio would be a good one to do.
Okay. Would they need to do that though, even though they've already had because it's within their rich content editor?
That's just a very simple way to do it. If you don't want to do it in the rich content editor, you can just add it right here and then it opens in a window.
Ooh, that's awesome. All right. So those of you, if you did take the studio course yesterday with Michelle, or if you've done it previously with us, you'll see any of the content that you've created will show up in here. I'm just going to click select. I don't want comments, but I'm going to go ahead and click embed, and it will add that external or outer tool for me. And you can see it has the link of where it needs to go. It did that for me, so I don't need to play around with that. You could change the page name if you want, and because this is studio, I'm just going to put video practice. And again, you can choose to have it load in a new tab if you'd like or not. That's up to you. And then click Add Item. And then once you've added that item, you'll see it looks like a link because it is an external link of where it's taking them to, or an external tool that's helping them. So go ahead and practice that for me for a minute here. How about that? And see how that works. So you're going to practice. Oops, practice. I cannot type today. Adding in an external tool. So what's nice about this external tool that I wanted to bring up too as you're practicing it, you could see that our text discovery ed is already built within, it's integrated if you have access to it within Canvas. However, if you're wanting students to go to maybe a textbook or Mayan or any other link that you have that's showing them how to do a single sign-on within ClassLink, meaning, I'm just going to pause that so it doesn't sound off while we're talking here. But if you're having them go to some sort of single sign-on area within here, right, you can't link it with, you can click to ClassLink and have students go to there, but you can't link it within Canvas because you want to make sure that they are using that single sign-on piece, right? That's the whole purpose of us having ClassLink, because it automatically signs students in so they don't have to remember passwords and things like that. If you're using a site where you have a different password that's not automatically saved, or, you know, website that doesn't require like ABCA or something like that, then what we're doing now would be okay to do. Michelle or Carrie, I don't know if you want to add something to that.
No, I think that's good, but you might want to show them how to go ahead and add that URL.
Add ClassLink?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you do it, Michelle, I want to make sure I'm showing the correct way. You would just do it right from here. Would you actually go to Indian River Schools and then ClassLink?
You just want to make sure you get the Launchpad. You do want to get, it's launchpad.classlink.com/IRC. You don't want this home. So you want to make sure that you get, sometimes I open it in an incognito window and then get Launchpad. Yeah, you just want to get that basic IRC one. And it's because you're logged in right now, it's hard to get that.
Oh, there you go.
So when you have to get it when you're not logged in. So it's just launchpad.classlink.com/IRC. Yeah, that one.
All right.
So you want to get that ClassLink.
So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat for you all. And let's practice. I know we've already practiced adding in a URL, but I want you to practice it now again so that you have this. And then also to, you'll have it in your course to have for later too, so you don't have to do that incognito craziness that we just did. So I'm going to actually follow my same directions I did by adding. I'm going to go back to external URL. And I'm going to paste that website, launchpad.classlink.com/IRC, and I'm going to just say here ClassLink.
But actually, Becky, one of the things a lot of teachers did, instead of saying that it was ClassLink, like they would go to Wonders and read pages 7 through 12 or whatever that was, and then when whatever their direction is that they want them to do in ClassLink, and then when they click on that Wonders, it's going to take them to ClassLink, and then they think, oh, okay, now I have to log into Wonders and do that. So even though you can't link directly to Wonders or directly to Mayan or directly to whatever your textbook is, you can give the directions like it's to the textbook, and then when they click on that, then it takes them to ClassLink, and they have to log into ClassLink.
Okay. So I'm actually going to put that here, can put directions here. There we go. So what Michelle was saying that we've put here, this is the link for ClassLink. And actually I'm going to edit that. And I want to say So we know that this is ClassLink, and update it so that it is on there. But that's the direct link that students can go to, and then you can put the directions if you're having them do, like Michelle said, something in Wonders or Mayan, Epic, things like that, that would students would need to actually physically go to Canvas, or excuse me, ClassLink to do. Okay. Thanks for helping with that, Michelle. All right. So where are we? Whoops. Okay. So the what we've just done here, these are just the basics of what you can add within your module. And keeping in mind, all of these items that we just did, we can also do from the course navigational side here, right? So it's up to you, I guess, how you want to do it. It's nice to have it though once it's in this piece here, because this is almost like a template that you're creating, and then you're able to add and change and manipulate. We can copy and things like that. So let's go ahead and practice some of those items here. Let's practice duplicating a module. And to duplicate or make a copy of your module, what we're going to do is end up clicking on our little gray snowman, and we're going to duplicate and copy items. This is super important, I feel, especially with what you have in your template as we have right now. So let's say, let me go back down here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let's say Math Week 1, right? I don't want to have to keep, you know, erasing and adding to this and things kind of getting a mess for my students and myself. What I would like to do, and then you have this template for each week, is copy this template that's been created for you. So I would even maybe change this, and I would maybe edit and just say, this is my, I'm just going to say clean copy here so I know. And then I'm just going to copy this each week so that I have it there for my students. Now to do that, over on this side here where that skinny snowman is, you can see that I'm able to duplicate. And when I click on duplicate here, that's going to make a copy of the what I just have on here. And you can see it says clean copy, but now it's exactly the same thing that I have, but I'm able to go through and manipulate and change and move things around and all that good stuff, right? And I'm able to also change the name. So now this week, if this was the first week of school, week 1, I would say, okay, this would be, what is that, 824, 8-24. Whoa, that didn't work because I don't have number lock on. Sorry, guys. Let's try that again, 8-24. And then I could just keep this as math. And now I have that module. So I feel like duplicating a module would be the best way to do things. Again, you've got to go with what you're comfortable with, but I feel it's the best way because then you always have this clean version and you're not having to work with a version that's already been created, right? And then you're able to add the pieces that you like. So what I want you to do right now in your module, and if you don't have the template added in yet, that's okay. You can copy the practice that we've done, but I want you to go to one of the weeks or areas that are listed out within the modules that you have already, and I want you to click, and I want you to click duplicate. Keep in mind, if you want to copy the whole module, we do want to click this gray piece here. If I click on one of these, I can duplicate and copy these, but I don't want to do just one simple thing I've done on here. I want to copy all of this, the whole entire binder, right? I don't want to copy just pieces of the binder. So go ahead. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to do that. I know that might take a little bit longer, but right now you are going back to Canvas and you are going to practice duplicating your module. Yep, there you go. And if you want to screenshot it, you can to share. So keeping in mind when we're back in here, when you're trying to duplicate, make sure you guys are working in that gray area in order for that duplication to happen. If we're clicking here, we're not able to just simply duplicate this little area here. So you should see the gray top part of your module, and it's the one with the little drop down arrow. So if you click on that drop down arrow, that might help you to be able to find the duplicate too.
Becky, I see some of them are talking about they can't duplicate. If you have a quiz or an assignment in a module, it won't let you duplicate it. So you would need to just remove that and then you can duplicate it.
Okay. Will it allow you to duplicate if it's published or no? It just won't allow you to duplicate it at all?
Correct.
Okay. Can you say that one more time for everybody? I think that was really important what Carrie just said.
So hit the 3 dots and see how you don't have a duplicate option. Mm-hmm. Now go to your BTS quiz and remove it.
And keeping in mind, guys, as we're removing this, it's not going away.
It's not deleting it yet.
We will still have it over here on your navigational toolbar here. Okay. And then you said quiz and what else? Assignment?
Well,
whoops.
Yeah, you're not. There you go.
Okay.
And then now go back to the 3 dots.
Ah, look at that, guys. Carrie taught me something
duplicate.
Today. Thank you, Carrie. That's awesome.
That has, trial and error.
See, you guys, we're all learning together. We're all in this together. That's good to know. And again, don't freak out because even though we've copied it, right, and we're going to duplicate it, we can still go back and add that quiz in because whatever's in your module, whatever you're deleting, it's still part of what you have over here. So it's not going away. So it's almost like a messy closet, right? This is kind of like what we're doing in modules is like organizing it, right, by color and all that good stuff. But if you have a messy closet where everything's just thrown in there, this is kind of what that is. Maybe that's not a good analogy because it's not super messy, but it's a little messier. I don't know. All right. So back where we were, moving and reordering a module. To do that, and that's pretty simple to do as well. I'm going to do the one I just copied on there. There it is. Okay. Anything, again, I want to move around. You can see I can click and drag and move it to where I would like. And you also can click on your 3 little dots, so your skinny snowman, and you're able to move from there as well. So if I wanted to move these to a different part of my course, or a different module within my course, I can do that. I usually like just clicking and dragging and moving things that way to make it a little bit easier. So maybe when you're adding new modules in, they automatically show on the bottom, and maybe you just want your modules to show at the top. You can do that if you'd like. So go ahead and I'm not going to give you too much time to do that one. That one shouldn't take us as much time, but go ahead and take a minute to do that. Practice moving your module or moving a piece of your module. And kind of thinking too, why would you want to do this? Maybe whatever you had in class you guys didn't get to on Monday, maybe you're just moving it to the Tuesday folder, right? I know when I taught in the classroom, I had my each color-coded. I know Carrie and Michelle are laughing right now, but I had my color-coded buckets for the week, each day of the week. And if I didn't get to something on Monday, I was able to move that file and move it into, say, from Monday to Tuesday. So you're able to do that. Okay. Carrie, I have the chat on over here. I'm able to kind of peek at it to see what's going on. I see what you're saying about me. I'm not high maintenance, you guys. I'm overly organized. That's how I function. My brain just is able to work better that way. All right. I want us to practice removing a module item, which we actually just did that step. So if you were trying to duplicate when we just went through that step together, but we had to delete that quiz off of there. But let's say in my module, I'm going to go back to the practice that we were just working on. Sorry, guys. Let's say I want to move out Friday. Maybe we're off of school that Friday that I end up doing that the copy I've made from this template. So what I would do is just click on my gray snowman, and I can keep it unpublished. Again, whatever, if it's unpublished, the students aren't able to access it. But I could just click right here, remove, and it's going to say, are you sure? I'm sure. Are you really sure? Yes, I'm really sure. Okay. And then it deletes it off there. I don't know why that's doing, but we're fine. It deletes it off there for me. So I want you to go ahead and practice that for me real quick as well. Click somewhere in your module. If you want to click maybe something we did in practice, I would suggest not deleting anything that we've already put in here. So maybe practice deleting one that you've duplicated, a piece that's within there, so that you're not losing anything that we've already done. Not that it's lost for good, but losing it from your module. Okay. We're going to practice. Deleting in your module. So I just see, because I have the chat open on this side over here just to take a peek, and I just saw your message on there, Carol. I'll go ahead and address that now. The link that you do want to use that Michelle was talking about for ClassLink for your students, we don't want to copy, excuse me, the one that we have up here, because it will take them to the wrong link. They'll get an error. You want to use launchpad.classlink.com/IRC. So that's why it would be good if you can put that link as a link within your course so that you have it available to you, or you can favorite it so that you have it up at the top for you as well. Okay. All right. Where are we? We're doing so much today. Awesome. Hopefully you guys are feeling pretty good. We're almost done. Hopefully your head's not spinning on this wonderful Friday. So we've duplicated, we moved or reordered, we moved or we deleted. I'm not going to practice deleting the module with you guys, but I am going to show you how to do that, because I don't want you to lose anything you've done. Unless you want to delete the copy that you've made, you can do that. But if you needed to delete a module for any reason, you can just click on your little skinny snowman and you're able to delete. And when I click on that, I'm not going to right now, but if I were to, it would take all of that away. So it's no longer available in my modules. Again, anything I've created within there will be over on the left-hand side on the toolbar, okay? One other area that I did not put into the presentation, but I did want to share with you, which is great, is anything that you are creating, as you can see here, you're able to share it. So one, I can share this to Commons if I want, and that means it would be available to whomever I share it with. Or I'm able to, I don't see it on there. It should allow me to just share with someone on my team or someone within our district. Carrie, do you know the answer to that? Why it's not? Oh, is it because I'm in my module? I have to share it when I'm in my, actually, I think that's why. I think I may have answered my own question. Okay, so if you're trying to share something with a teacher, when yeah, see? So don't, and I realize that's just weird. You would think you'd be able to share the module, but if you want to share pieces of your file folder that you're doing, right? Let's say you wanted to share contact information page that you've created. You can click on your little skinny snowman And then on here, you're able to send it to whoever that you would like to. So anybody within our district, if I know Carrie already has this, so she probably won't come up. Oh, there she does. So I can send this particular piece to her, and then she has that available. So that's a nice little cheat sheet little kind of way to share different pieces that you're creating. So if you are, co-teaching, or if you're working with somebody and on your team and trying to share different things that you create, that's a nice, easy way to share. And what's cool is that once I share that information, it's going to show underneath here that someone has, like here, I've got a lot of shared content. You're able to see all the content that has been shared with you. And look at that, it's a nice little gift. And you're able to upload that into your course. So that's pretty cool, quick and easy way to share different items on there. What else do we have here? Okay, so what we've basically talked about so far today, we talked, and I'm going to actually, before I show you everything that we've talked about, I wanted to show you one more thing that I did not put into the presentation there. I want to show you how you can edit all of this stuff that we just did, right? Where's modules? There it is. So once you have created your template, or not your template, but your ideas of what you wanted to put in there, anytime you want to add or take away or make changes, all you have to do is click where it's hyperlinked. Again, this is just the title, so that's not going to take me anywhere. That's my binder, right? But the piece inside my binder, let's say right here, was start here for week 1 activities. I click on that and it takes me to the page, and I'm able to edit that page, right? And then when I edit, it takes me to that rich content editor. Now, if you're not sure how to edit within each of these different pieces here, we did talk about that yesterday, but again, back on the presentation, each of these that I put on there for you, when you click on these, it's hyperlinked to show you step-by-step how to do that if you need. So that's how you would edit within your module. Now, you can also, this is a page that's created, right? It says start here, math. I could also edit by going to pages, view all pages, and I'm able to edit right within this area that you see here. That was, what did it say? Start here, math. So I can click on that and I can go ahead and edit from within there. So that's why we're trying to say modules is your nice clean home to organize it all. This is really the meat of what you have, right? The module just helps organize it for you. So back to where we just were. So we've talked about what a module is, right? We talked why we would want to use them, how to create one, and then how to edit and manipulate and change pieces within your module. So the next thing there would be any questions before we move on to the next piece here. Any questions that you guys are having about the modules? Hopefully you feel a little more comfortable. Carrie, go ahead.
Sorry, Becky. I just want to clear up an issue about ClassLink. If you will, right-click on Google Chrome and go to an incognito window.
Yes, I already.
And now will you put in the ClassLink URL?
Yes.
See, guys, it brings you into the sign-in page. If you're clicking on that link in Chrome where you're already logged in, it's going to log you in automatically. So some people are doing that and saying, that's giving them my access. It's not going to give them your access. When the students click on that link, if they're already logged into ClassLink, it's going to open their ClassLink. And if they're not logged in, it's going to bring them to the login page.
Correct. And this little trick that we have here, using an incognito window is great because it doesn't, like when you use normal Chrome here, passwords, you have to sometimes clear your cache, but things get saved and it automatically signed us in, right? Once we signed to the computer, it took us there. Whereas when you're using an incognito window, passwords are not saved. So this is a great way, and we use this a lot when we're trying to sign in as a student to see what's going on, if they're having problems accessing Canvas or different applications, right? When you click on here, it doesn't automatically sign you in. It's going to set it up for myself, but I'm able to go in and change this and put in the student or whatever I need to do. But having an incognito window is nice to see and kind of play around with to see how things are working. But this right here, launchpadclasslink.com, that's the one that you would want to use for students. If you're using that link for students to I just lost what I was going to say. Oh, to access, for different directions you want them to go into. So I would almost do it like we had in our module that we just created. We can also do it. Let's say we're editing this. These are the activities for the week, right? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to say Monday, maybe their directions are to, I don't know, complete page 5 in your math textbook, right? Whatever the direction is of the textbook or application you want them to use from ClassLink. And I can actually go through and hyperlink it to that website we just took, which was the launchpad.classlink.com/IRC. And what's going to happen now, I'll show you, when a student tries to click on that link, it's going to take them to log into ClassLink. Now, because they've accessed Canvas through ClassLink, it should automatically sign them in to their account, right? It's not going to sign them into your account. It signed me into my account because I already have ClassLink open and ready. So that's a nice little helpful tool for you to do with your students. Anything else, Carrie?
I'm not, so Robin's asking you to show the steps again, and she's saying where you type them so she can screenshot it, but I'm not sure what steps she wanted because I was answering another question.
That's okay. Robin, were you looking for these ones probably right here, I'm guessing, that we did together? Of how we got there? I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And actually, I'll screenshot this for you guys and put it into the chat for you.
Yes, that's what she was looking for. Perfect.
I'm going to escape and actually make this smaller so we can see it a little bit better. Awesome. There you go. And again, this presentation that we've gone over today, and we're going to do one more thing as well. We still have some more time. We'll have this available to you, so you will be able to go through it at your time if you need. Okay. All right.
And Susan's asking, do you need to be in Pages to share? Susan, you can't share a whole module, so you need to be in Pages, assignments, or quizzes to share those individual items. If you want to share a whole module, you will need to share that to Commons. And then you can grab a link and share that with your team or your team teacher, however you're doing that.
So what, uh-oh, there you go, my mouse almost just died on me. That would be great. What Carrie's saying here is when on Commons, and that's where we got the template that she created, right? So that template is put on Commons where others can take that template and import it into their course. It doesn't change the one that she did. It just makes a copy of it. So now that it's yours to borrow and use, right? So that's what she's saying about modules. If you wanted to put a whole entire module up, you would have to put it into Commons, versus if I wanted to just share a piece of what I've done in my module, I could share it by clicking on this side over here. I'm not able to click it once I'm in modules, right? I'd have to share it right from the direct source of where that piece is created. Because think about it, when you're in modules, again, it's just a copy of what you're doing in here. Again, if you delete that stuff that's in modules, it still lives in here. So you want to go from where the source, where it lives.
Yeah, if you remove it from the module.
Correct. So, and I have an area for some more questions too. What I would like to do with you guys, just as a little thank you, what we're going to do is go back to, we're going to go back to the digital teacher resources. And back in digital teacher resources, again, you can access this on your class link. It's already on there for you with this logo that you see here. In the back to school section, we're going to click back on where it says Canvas modules. And then from there, we're going to click down below. You'll see the Padlet. And to do this, it doesn't want to show on there for me today. What's going on, Mr. Padlet? Something's going on here. It should be on there. All right, well, I'm going to update that for you guys. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why it didn't. Oh, it's on there. It was just a little slow. So what you're going to do on the Padlet, I've got 2 columns going on for you. And this column over here, and you can click on the plus sign by saying, share something new you learned about today. So I want you to share something new you learned by clicking plus, and you can say something that you like. Maybe I learned how to copy a page, right? And then you could just click to the side. And then in this column here, I want you to write any questions you're still wondering. So maybe you're still confused about how to duplicate a module, right? So if you guys could take a few moments to go ahead and do that. And again, I access this by clicking back on Digital Teacher Resources, back into the modules course, or not modules course, but the modules link, and then right here. And then if you're seeing any questions in the chat, Carrie, just let me know and I can help assist with that. I'm going to keep going here. It's easier. Yes, I'm rating this for, what is that, 5 stars? The importance of publishing. Yes, yes, yes. We've all made that mistake. Okay. Yes, you can duplicate your course. Let me see if I can get that link for you to show you.
Becky, I just put it in the chat.
Oh, Michelle is on it. Yeah. So, and I'm glad that someone brought that up. You definitely want to learn how to do that, because as you know, each year your classes for Canvas are formed from focus, right? So what you can do is copy your course content from year to year so that you have it and it's always there for you. I think that's why I love working out of a sandbox course, so I can use and pull the pieces I want from the sandbox course to put them into my course I want from the, from year to year to use with students. So that's definitely a super easy, awesome tool to have. If you need help with that, you could reach out to one of us, let us know. But the directions that Canvas does give on that are very nice and simple to follow. And we also have that in our, the digital teacher resources here. There is a Canvas link, and that is in the directions for Canvas there. Good questions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I see some questions. Oh, we got lots of them. Sorry, I didn't see there were so many. Oh, okay. And then I'll go back up to these other ones here. This was a great question. And from the lesson, or not lesson, but the training that Michelle did yesterday. So when you're trying to share information from Studio, the tricky thing is you have to have it put into in your Canvas course, as a page or however you have it with that rich content editor. You want to make sure to put it in there and then share, just like we showed to you how to do that. If you try to share from Studio, it won't work with what you're trying to do. So I'll show you a quick example of how I do that. So if I'm on my page, I'm going to go to a nice clean page here.
Becky, are you saying it won't share at all or it's not working? Because there's a share option in Studio.
It just shares the video if you
Just the video, not the quiz.
Yeah, sorry.
Not the quiz.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So let me clarify that for you guys. You can share within Studio, correct? But if you are using a video in Studio, and those of you that haven't taken Studio, you can add quiz questions along the way to make sure students are, comprehending and watching the video. Any quiz questions that you put in won't share from Studio. We have to make sure we put it into Canvas, into a page or a quiz first before sharing it. Does that help clarify that? Hopefully. So I'm just going to show you a quick example. If I were to add this. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, guys. I clicked on the wrong thing. Studio. I'm going to go ahead and click on something I've added. All right, I'm going to just add that first one there. Example. I can click save. And again, it doesn't have to be published in order for them to see it. They can be able to click here, and then I'm able to send that to whoever needs it to go to, right? So that's how you would share with a colleague. If you're trying to share something, it has to be within the Canvas course on here if it has a quiz attached to it. So I'm actually going to delete that since we don't really need that right now. Let's see, any other questions that were coming up here that you girls see that need answered? Or I think you guys have been answering some of them in the chat too. That's a great question here. Someone asked, should we be putting modules in our template for transitional teaching? What's great about your template that you have created for you, if you chose the secondary template or if you chose the elementary template, we've taken care of putting those modules in there for you. So to make it easier for you, once you are in a template and you have those modules, they are pre-set up for you. So that's what I was saying. Since it's already set up for you, why create yourself and having to do more work? What you can do is copy this on here. You can duplicate it, and then you can use it from week to week. But then think about the tools that we've learned today. Maybe, yeah, this is the page that my students have for work, but you know what? Maybe I want to add in that module. I'm going to add some kind of a new assignment, right? This is going to be week 1 math assignment, whatever, whoops, you need to name it, right? And then you add that item. So you can think about what we've used today. You're probably going to want to use it to add to the module, but these modules have already been created for you. But let's say, for example, we have on here where it's listed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you wanted to run yours maybe differently and have it to say something else, you can edit and have it to have that topic different. But the way that it's already put in here together for you, I wouldn't necessarily change that too much unless you feel like it needs to be changed for what you're trying to do with your class. But your modules are pretty much already set up for you guys. A lot of it at this point is just adding in the pieces to it and then, manipulating it, moving it around to fit your needs. So hopefully that answered that question. We just did that one. So I'll go ahead and show you how to share to Commons and the external URL. Sure. I would, and I'm going to show all this. These are really good questions you guys are asking. Maintaining as you go. I think once you have your shell created, or once it's been created for you and you have all of this information here, you can delete it. But if you plan on using the how you've already organized everything from, year to year, I think the best thing really to just kind of, you've got it minimized here, but maybe move these pieces down to the bottom so that they're not in the way. And then anything current you're working on, have it towards the top. Again, you can delete it. You'll still have access to your information, but keeping those modules, I feel, is nice so that you don't have to keep recreating how things are organized. Carrie, I don't know if you want to touch on that. I know thinking back to when you were in the classroom, what are your thoughts on that? Having your information in your module, keeping it or deleting it?
So I got a phone call and
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention.
It's okay. So this is my question. Someone brought up a great question. When you have created, we've got a great shell, we've got a great template, everything's together, but as we start adding more weeks, this is going to get pretty messy. There's going to be a lot on here. Do you suggest them deleting it, or do you suggest them just moving it down to the bottom? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, great question. I don't like to delete anything because I like to have record, right? And that's where the buttons on the home page really come in nicely, because the buttons can take you, go to the, scroll down a little bit.
Sorry. I just went to the buttons. Okay.
Yeah, so the button that says lessons, when you link that, it can link to any of these modules. So you don't even have to move the modules if you don't want. Stop right there. But what you can do is you can link to a different module every week. You can also organize the modules. So some teachers use the module as their homepage and they move that week's module to the top, right? Another is because we did a start here. See that first page, start here?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did. Yeah.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
You can link to that page. So again, the students don't have to go into the modules. The modules can be organization just for you. And, so that homepage is really where you decide how you want to direct the kids. Some people have their homepage be their assignment list. Some people have the homepage being the module list. And some people use a homepage like this that is buttons.
So what Carrie's saying, and that's exactly right, you can have it like she has it linked to this particular module here that the students, it takes them right to here, right? But let's say, for example, if you have your things organized and you just want, when I click on lessons, I want them to link to just a particular lesson for, say, Monday or whatever it is, right? You can edit, and don't worry, Carrie, this is just my sandbox. I'm not making changes. I made sure to do that because I was like, I cannot mess it up. What I can do now is clicking on, and this might seem a little fast, but those of you, if you need help with this, there are links to help, but this is all in the rich content editor we practiced yesterday. When I click on this, I've told the computer I want to link it to something. And this is what Carrie had done. She linked it to a particular spot in the module. But let's say if I don't want to link it to a module, I'm welcome to link it to just a particular page here. So maybe I want to link it to just Friday math wrap up, right? And now I'm going to go ahead and click save. Now when my students click on lessons, instead of bringing them to that module, it brings them right here to this particular piece here. So it's up to you really how you want it to play out when you are linking different pieces. Do you have to have it exactly how we have it? No, but we have it nice and neat and organized for you so that it should be pretty seamless. And from week to week, you're just adding in the pieces you want and then sharing those with, updating this piece here so it shares with your students. It just depends on how you want your classroom run. I love having modules, but I also like having it link on a page, and then kind of like I did with the training today, have everything on one page for you so that it's easy to click on those buttons and access. So as you get to play around with it, and I think practicing it in your sandbox is great to see how it will look and feel as a student before you start adding it into your course for your students.
Becky, while we have everyone here, I do want to mention all of these different sections.
Okay.
So depending on what you're teaching, I'm seeing everywhere from 5 different Canvas courses to 32. If you're an elementary specials teacher, there is a course for every single class on your campus, and they're all separated out into different Canvas courses. If you're a secondary teacher, you might have a Gen Ed section, an ESE section, and an ESOL section. And so multiply that by 6, and you have 18 Canvas courses. I know those of you who are doing transitional, you are going to now have courses from different schools. So you might have a PI course, a TCE course, maybe different, hopefully the same grade levels. So what I'm putting in the chat now, we are working, that's a really big smiley face. Well, we are working on combining all of those courses for you at the district level. It's called cross-listing. And so with that, you kind of merge all of the courses into one. So you only have to work with that one course. You can go ahead and do it yourself. And that's what I have linked in what I just put in the chat is the video of how to do it yourself. So we were told that schedules would not be settled until early next week. So we didn't even plan to do the cross-listing until sometime mid next week. But some of you are go-getters and some of you want to get started, and that's fine. And you can watch that video, and it's very easy to do yourself. It can just be a little time consuming if you're one of those people that has 32 courses. But don't think you're going to have to work out of 32 courses. You can combine everything into one class, 2 classes. Most people work out of like secondary. You're going to work out of a regular course and an honors course if you teach regular and honors. So you're only going to work out of 2. All of your class periods will still be there. They will be within the course. So you can assign a quiz just a first period. You can give an assignment just a second and fourth period. But all the students will live in the course, so you don't have to keep duplicating the work. So yes, you could have a PI course and a Sebastian course. Or you could have them all in there together if you're teaching them the same thing and they're in the same grade level.
I'm glad you clarified that. Thank you. And I also wanted to add too, while we're on this page as well, again, these have all been created for you. Carrie went over earlier this week, this template. So if you want to go back and through that course that she did, please do so, because it does kind of show you how to manipulate and change these things if you need. But I do want to mention, for those of you that, and this goes for secondary too, but especially our primary little kiddos, right? If they're doing the online, we want to keep it as seamless and simple as possible for them to click and know where to go, right? Because we've got to have that mindset and feel like, if I'm a student, am I understanding what my teacher is asking me to do and where they need to go? So what I like to do when I taught primary, I taught K through 5, I ended up going over to the settings bar over here. And what I like to do is under navigation, think of like a navigator car, right? Gets you places. This navigation here, you could change these, and that's what these little eyeball slashes mean, and that's where a student is not seeing that. So they are not able to see this piece in here, and again, they're not able to see pages. However, when I create a page and I've published it, they're able to see that published page. So although if I'm taking, some of these pieces down here so that my students cannot see them. Maybe I just want them to see these 3 items, or maybe I just want to see this, right? If I have it like this here and I got to go down to the bottom and click save, it's a lot cleaner for my students, right? Now when they see, and I'll show you on student view, that student view is phenomenal to see what it does look like as a kid. Look at that. So they've got just that home piece. We don't have any announcements. That's why announcements are not showing, but look how clean this is. And they're able to go through, they're able to click to where they need to be. So there's lessons, and look, it brings up the lesson. There's the page that we created, even though it's not over here. So do you have to do this? No, but I feel like having these buttons that we've already created for you are so helpful so that students just have to click here and they don't have to worry about, well, do I click here or do I go over here? And then I know Carrie also put on here for family resources. There is a great area there. Did I disable it? I may have not published it or something on it. Let me go back and check that. But they're able to click and see how to utilize Canvas, right? And that will be helpful, especially those that are doing that option 2 or option 3 learning.
And somebody asked, should you have a home page or modules, not both? And I think it really depends on how you're organizing your class. If you disable modules, you have to make sure that your class flows and they can get to everything they need. I sometimes start off with modules turned off, and then by week 1 or week 2, I'll turn it on because now they know how to navigate the system. Remember, it's not an all or nothing, start small, teach them in chunks, and then as they learn things, you can turn it on. Maybe after the first week, I want to turn on modules because my lessons button is going to take them to this week's assignment, but maybe a kid was sick last week. And so that's how they could go to last week's work and see what happened.
That's a very good point, Carrie. So in order for students, and that's what's great about having these text header, for them to understand, but being able to explain, if this is this week's work or that past work, any kids that have missed assignments, you're able to have it on there for them within that module. So just making sure they understand how to navigate between and go through each of these pieces here. And I feel like that's why it's really important, when using modules, to just make sure things are clear and clarified for students so that they understand. So just, don't just type in here math. Well, what is math? Is this an assignment? Is this a page? Like, what do I want my student to do there? So just try to be as clear as possible for your students.
And Becky, I don't want to move ahead. Have we covered this?
Yeah.
So do you mind bringing up the schedule, the training schedule on back to school?
Yeah, sure. And thanks for helping me out there. Awesome. Okay, so we are going to digital teacher resources. And we're going back to school. Back to school. And then next week.
Yeah, so everybody has access to this page. You can see, scroll up just one more row. There you go. So Becky's Canvas modules was today from 9 to 11. The attendance link and the feedback link are there. I've also put the feedback link in the chat for you.
Awesome,
this
thank
afternoon, we have Canvas quizzes and rubrics. So again, if you don't have that Teams meeting link in an email, you can just come to this page to join. Next week, on Monday, we're doing Canvas intro again and Canvas course template and conferences. So if you didn't get kind of the basic overview of Canvas, and if you didn't get to do the template training, or if you need to watch it again, that's going to be repeated again on Monday. And we also have it recorded. If you'll scroll to the top, Becky, when we do these trainings, Michelle is recording them for us. So you'll see Canvas intro from Wednesday has a video link, and then Canvas course template video link. So if you want to go back this weekend, when you're sitting at home with nothing to do, and you want to watch those videos, you can re-watch them. And of course, Michelle's also popped in the presentations and the agendas. So those are all there. And then what do we have on Tuesday of next week, Becky?
We have Tuesday, the rich content editor and Canvas modules again.
Yeah, so deep dives for sure. And then I believe Wednesday and Thursday we are passing out laptops, so we're not available. But we're now looking at the week of the 17th, right? So on the week of the 17th, we're going to start adding some trainings. One of the things I'm going to do is how to customize your template. So for those of you who've been to the template training, you know that there's a page in the module that says how to use this template, and all of the buttons and banners are there, and it takes you to Canva. So I'm going to do a training dedicated just to showing you how to do those edits in Canva, how to change the colors, how to change the font, how to put them back in your Canvas course. We've also had requests for Michelle's training, Rock the Classroom, which is really great about student engaging programs. And then I'm seeing people are asking for a deep dive on discussions. So those are the things we're going to look at.
Sure.
Setting up a schedule for the 17th. So know they're coming, but you know, we were told that these Canvas trainings had to be a priority for both the transitional and the brick and mortar teachers. So we're going to get those out of the way. And then of course, then in our free time, pass out laptops and we will get those additional trainings ready for you guys.
And to add on to what Carrie's saying, it's so important, the feedback that you guys leave. You know, it shouldn't take you too long to fill those out, but please, please, please do, because it does really help us. We accept that feedback and we try to make these changes to the courses or the trainings as we're doing them to make sure that they're fit for you. But also too, if there's something that you feel you need that we're not doing, that helps us to know as well what it is that you all need from us. So yeah, that's all we have, Michelle, or not Michelle, sorry, Carrie. And Michelle, if you're still here. It's Friday.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I would keep checking this page.
Yes.
I know Curriculum and Instruction sent out a training document through administrators. Some administrators forwarded it and some printed it.
Okay.
And I know they're always adding to that, but anything that we're offering will be on this page.
Correct. And I can work on some graphic too if we feel we need that too, Carrie. We can talk about that later. For teachers so they know exactly what's going on. But this, I feel like if you guys can just keep coming back to this back to school, this calendar, everything that you need will be right here in one spot for you all. But we really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us so much this week and learning with us and taking the time to experience Canvas. It's a lot, but hopefully you guys have learned something new. And, you know, even next week we are doing these trainings again. You're welcome to attend them more than once. You've got videos. You've got tons of resources to help you if you need help with what you are doing. So yay. But that's all we've got, right, Well?
That's
If
right.
there's anything else we need.
Guys, in the chat, I just
hello.
put a link. We had some people ask for how to put the digital teacher resources in their Canvas.
Sure.
Needs to be a student to added to the course, and I put the link. It is a self-enrolling course, and
Thank you.
actually for the training this afternoon, you have to be a student, so that's actually the first thing we're going to do. So if you do it right now, it would be even better. So if you don't have the digital teacher resources as a card in your Canvas, you can go ahead and click that link that is back up in the chat, right up there at the top. So please go ahead and click that, and it will make that digital teacher resources be right there in your Canvas for you, so you can get to it anytime that you need to.
Awesome. So what Michelle is saying, if you normally have to go to digital teacher resources by accessing it on ClassLink, you want to actually have it as a card in your course right here. So it's on your dashboard. She has a link provided for you all in the chat to do so. And it's nice once it's in your dashboard too, because then you have nice, quick, and easy access for you. Cool.
And Carrie has put the feedback link in there too. Please make sure you guys fill out that feedback link.
Awesome.
And Melissa did ask a question about if the kids will have their computers when school starts. We hope that they all come ahead of time, Melissa, but we can't guarantee that.
So yeah, right now we've been doing option 2 and 3 students. Those students should all be able to get, access to a laptop, and we're hoping for option 1 as well. It just says, laptops come in and we're cleaning and getting them ready. It's Nothing's 100%. As you guys know right now, everything's very fluid and changing. But our hope is that the students will have access to laptops to be able to complete their work. Is that where you're going with that, Michelle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know, Melissa. We're hoping. The plan is to have all of them as soon as possible. We
Right.
hope it's the first week. I don't want to guarantee that. But
And it helps too
A
if
prayer.
you have students or parents that are contacting you and you know, if they have a computer from from spring or from summer, please, please, please make sure they turn them in, because the new ones have a new image and it will run properly for them. So make sure they do turn those in and swap it out for a new device. All right. Anything else that you see there? I don't think we're...
I think we're good.
Cool. Well, look at that. We ended right on time, guys. So again, thank you. We hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Have an amazing weekend. Try to get some rest and, you know, take care of yourselves. And hope everybody just enjoys what we're doing and all that good stuff. So we're here for you. Just reach out, whatever you need.